Hello, this is Neville again with our guided tour through the New Testament. Today we look at Matthew chapter 2, where Herod is trying to kill Jesus. The outline is the wise men's journey, the wise men's joy, and then when we see the escape route of the Messiah, the reasons for the trip, also the retaliation during the trip, and the return from the trip. Our text then, chapter 2, verse 1 of Matthew. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose, and have come to worship him. When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Now, remember when we talk about Herod, we're talking about a man who murdered his 3 sons and one of his wives. Not a very nice man. And so it's obvious that Jesus' life is in danger when Herod hears this news. Verse 4. And assembling all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They told him, In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it is written by the prophet. And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler, who will shepherd my people Israel. Then Herod summoned the wise men and secretly ascertained from them what time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, Go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word, that I too may come and worship him. Verse 9. After listening to the king, they went on their way, and behold, the star that they had seen, when it rose, went before them, until it came to rest over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And going into the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then opening their treasures, they offered him gifts, gold, and frankincense, and myrrh. And being warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed to their own country by another way. Verse 13. Now when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, and said, Rise, take the child and his mother, and flee to Egypt, and remain there until I tell you, for Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him. And he rose, and he took the child and his mother by night, and departed to Egypt, and remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet. Out of Egypt I called my son. Hosea chapter 11 verse 1. Verse 16. Then Herod, when he saw that he had been tricked by the wise men, became furious, and he sent and killed all the male children in Bethlehem and all that region who were 2 years old and under, according to the time that he had ascertained from the wise men. Then was fulfilled what was spoken by the prophet Jeremiah. A voice was heard in Ramah, weeping and loud lamentation, Rachel weeping for her children. She refused to be comforted because they are no more. The return to Nazareth, verse 19. When Herod died, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Rise, take the child and mother, and go to the land of Israel, for those who sought the child's life are dead. And he rose and took the child and his mother, and went to the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Judah, in place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there. And being warned in a dream, he withdrew to the district of Galilee. Verse 23. And he went and lived in a city called Nazareth, that was spoken by the prophets might be fulfilled. he shall be called a Nazarene. Well, again, we see so much in the life of Jesus as he is traveling from the age of 2 to I don't know how old when they decided to come back. We don't know where he went, maybe to the city in Egypt, the capital city, Alexandria, where 1 million Jews were in exile. He would have blended perfectly in there, but what we do know is that his life was that of an Asian-born refugee in Africa. And so today we can take some comfort knowing that Jesus, our Savior, was intercontinental political refugee, someone who had to migrate, not because that he wanted to, but more the pain of forced migration. And it's good news for those who are displaced by natural disasters, famine, or political unrest. The situation of Jesus' birth, with Herod trying to kill him, makes for a very interesting application for our own lives as we respond to Jesus the King. When we come to him, do we come to worship him? Do we come to celebrate his birth, his life, his death, his resurrection? Because you see, that is what our coming together is all about. Old Testament worship was about the event of the Exodus. New Testament worship is about the event of a Jesus Christ coming into this world. We have so much to be glad for, so much to be happy for. Most of all, we can take consolation to know that Jesus Christ, having had a hard life, gave us a purpose to worship. Well, I pray that this reading would bless your life and that you would go with God today